So the recording doesn't exist, or does it not exist for us to hear it? I mean, the math does not math here. Let's grab our calculators, meet on the other side, and see if we can come up with an explanation because I'm very, very confused. Let's go. F around and find out. Hello there, beautiful people, and welcome back to another episode of F Around and Find Out. I'm your host, Elsie. I appreciate you for being here. Well, today we have Blake Lively, first of her name, taker of husbands, lover of plantations, and Blake the extortionist. Allegedly, but taker of husbands. And today she's claiming she did not extort that man, well, according to her reps. Blake Lively's reps slam extortion claim amid Justin Baldoni legal battle. Now, down here, they say that the position was made by one of It Ends With Us co-star, It Ends With Us director's associates, almost as if to make it seem like Danny Greenberg and Justin are like bestie buddies. No, they literally have a agent actor relationship, and that's ended. They're not associates like that, but they make you think that. Also, when did E! News start reporting on this? It feels like maybe they feel like they're getting left behind. So they decided to jump on the train that is It Ends With Us. Blake Lively is trying to put an end to this claim. As the legal battle with her It Ends With Us co-star and director Justin Baldoni continues, the Gossip Girl alums rep slammed comments made by Baldoni's former WME agent Danny Greenberg during a recent deposition in which he referred to Lively's behind-the-scenes action as extortion. Her team says that couldn't be further from the truth. Trust me, bro. Trust me, bro. The court already dismissed their so-called taking over the movie claim, and this cherry-picked the position quote from Baldoni's prior agent before he was dropped from WME. It adds nothing new, a rep for Lively said in a statement to E! News. In fact, the court's dismissal even assumed the allegations were true for the sake of argument, and still held that they don't amount to a valid claim under the law. We all know that's not really why the judge dismissed the claim, but okay. Lively's rep emphasized that her ongoing legal battle with Baldoni is just that and not a clickbait one, even though we got here because you literally started a clickbait campaign. We can bury anybody. I could keep going. We'll let her have it. This is just a recycled distraction. You are a recycled distraction. The rep continued. That has nothing to do with the actual sexual harassment and retaliation lawsuit Baldoni and the Wayfair defendants are facing. We're not going to read what the deposition says because we already know. Let's just go down here real quick. A status hearing regarding Lively's case against Baldoni and Wayfair is set for October 26th with an official trial schedule. We already know that. But really, Blake, you don't deny that it was extortion. You're just saying the judge told you it's not facts. Like it's not. Could it be further from the truth? What is the truth? What is the truth? What evidence do you have to support the truth is what we want to know. We're going to cover the recording very shortly. But before that, did you guys see the $155 pajamas Blake Lively is sporting? And should I say advertising? And how out of touch she is with reality? Who's buying $155 sleeping garments in this day and age, in this economy? But then she's not advertising. She's not promoting. But here's the link. Here's the name of the brand. Go buy you one. $155. Are you nuts? Blake Lively looks unbothered in her pajamas. At your big age? As she brushes off extortion accusations from Justin Baldoni's ex-agent. Slice of her life post with her 42.5 million followers on Monday. Feel like in the beginning of all of this, she was around 44.5 or 45, and somehow we're 42.5. Showing of her preferred brand of pajamas amid her ongoing legal battle with Justin Baldoni. The 38-year-old who is, I'm not reading all of that. She took to Instagram and modeled a pair of pajamas. I'm so obsessed with my new jammies that I swap out the bottom with jeans or slacks and pass off the top as a regular shirt. This shirt, I hope to God I do not catch you outside. I hope to God I don't ever catch you outside wearing this shirt with some fucking jeans or slacks trying to convince me it's a regular shirt. They're too ugly to be pajamas. What makes you think they're cute enough to be a regular shirt, like in the streets? Out of touch. Out of touch. Jesus Christ. And then down here to go on to tell us Our Antonella pajama set returns, redesigns in a timeless polka dot print with a burgundy bow and frill details. The brand described the item, which retails for 155 US dollars for a sleeping garment that looks like that. It's not 100% silk. It's not just melting off my body. This looks like wrinkled cotton. The burgundy bow and stuff doesn't even look like silk. How does a person make that purchase? Like, how does a person go about making that purchase? $155 for that? Couldn't be me. Child, let's move on to why we're here. Because it couldn't be me. Okay. It just could never be me. So why we're really here is a Reddit user named Clark went to the courthouse in New York, right, to try to get a hold of the recording. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but he pretty much gives us a step-by-step of everything he did to try to get his hands on the recording from the court, only to be told that the recording doesn't exist, right? Now, I talked to LGA and I talked to another lawyer friend of mine, and even without talking to them, there is no way the audio doesn't exist, right? It just, like the title says, it was never filed with the court ever. That is where I'm confused as to why that would even be allowed to, be a thing. Because Wayfair had to have heard the recording. Because Wayfair didn't write a motion saying, hey, Your Honor, we want to hear the recording or we demand to see it. They say we want it unsealed for the public to hear it. So one, the judge had to have heard the recording. Two, Wayfair had to have heard the recording. The recording 100% has to exist. Like, we're not confused there. It exists. But somehow it doesn't exist for us. It's where the confusion is, because it's been a week. Now, while I don't know how exactly a recording makes its way on the docket, for public consumption, LGA was saying that, like, the recording is not going to be filed like an electronic, like any of the documents you've seen. It would be sent directly via email or whatever, or by thumb drive or whatever to the judge. A copy would be sent to Wayfair. So Wayfair has heard the recording. We cannot dispute that. The judge has heard the recording because, again, if not, I'm going to say it again, there would be no reason to say, let's unseal it, right? Rather than let's hear it for the very first time. So the long story short, this person lives not too far from the courthouse, went there. They left their phone outside, but luckily, they remembered they remembered the docket number. So we're just going to pick it up from right here. They also say that the people at the courthouse were very confused. This user says the man they spoke to came back and told them their supervisor has been there for over 40 years and knew everything, yet had never seen a situation like this before. When a federal judge grants a request to file something under seal, he issues an actual seal order that the attorney sends to the clerk with the materials to be sealed, right? Which Ezra never took the recording. Or maybe, let me just say my godly, whoever, Blake's team never took the recording and the seal order to the court to say, hey, this is sealed. And then when it's unsealed, the same process. That never happened either. His supervisor said the court never got a seal order. They would have a record of having received it, and they have no such record. And the court also never received any audio files, right? The answer to why the attachment is not unsealed on a docket is because they have nothing to unseal. The clerk cannot unseal what they don't have. Our apologies to the court personnel, because we've been calling them nonstop, right? This is a mess, not of their making, but Ezra's. He said it was unusual that they had not seen this before. He was very nice in the beginning. The princess, they were very, very nice, very, very sweet. He brought out the physical case file for them to look through, where this user on Reddit says it ended up only being Leanne and Perez's motion to quash and stuff. But there was no physical CD, there was no thumb drive, there was no transcript of a recording, nada. And they said if it did exist, they would make a copy for the user, right? He said my next step should be to call the attorney. Ezra is not picking up the phone, and was going to offer the contact information for Ezra. Told him, he said, the user says, I told him I already have it. Readers can believe me or not. I thought to document this endeavor, but of course couldn't, because they weren't allowed to bring in their phone. You cannot bring your phone into the courthouse. They provide the address. Records room is on the 3rd floor. If any of you live in New York and want to go verify this for yourself, you're free to do so. Anyone who doesn't believe me is free to visit the courthouse to see if they can get a different answer. But there's no reason to not believe this person, right? There's no reason for them to not tell the truth. There's no reason to make this up. It makes sense because, again, why else haven't we heard it? And every time we've called the court lady, whoever picks up the phone all the time, doesn't seem to have an answer for us. It's like they run around, call the lawyer, call the lawyer, call the lawyer. So if now it's up to Wayfair almost to poke the judge again, be like, hey, they haven't unsealed it. The court doesn't seem to have it, but it doesn't seem to be an emergency for Wayfair right now for them to say they're going to handle that. So it's kind of a wait and see game more than anything. And we literally just have to like wait and see if it works out. But that's it. I said I wasn't going to keep you guys here long, and I've held up to it. Fun fact, I had to record this one yet again because, again, my video didn't record. I saw myself. I recorded 20 minutes, and then when I was done, it was blank. And I know I said in the comments, if that happened again, I would just do like a voiceover. But for right now, it just made more sense. I wasn't too tired, so it made more sense for me to re-record than do a voiceover because that would have been more work in a weird way. But a reaction, not a voiceover. I guess I am a little tired. All the same, I appreciate you guys for being here. Thank you for your likes, your shares, your comments, your subscriptions. I'll see you on the next one. This was just really a quick something to give you guys an update about everything that's going on. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. I'm going to remind you guys really quickly to use my link Elsrich to shop on Kitsch if you have a chance to do so. I appreciate your continued support, and I'll see you on the next one. Have a good day. Bye-bye.